know your name and what brings you in today?
Nice to meet you, Miss Galvan. My name is Josh Navarro, and I have a few things I just, have been bothering me that I wanted to talk about.
Okay, is it like school, academics, or like work related,
Um,
relationship?
so it's more, I guess, financial. I'm trying to buy a house.
Mm,
Um, you know, we're looking to live somewhere, whether that's renting or buying. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to come in and talk about it because I've been feeling a little conflicted, maybe a little down in the dumps. I feel like there's a lot going on, and
is it like conflict, like money conflict, or is it
um,
more of like a situational, like with the actual house, like getting a house?
I mean, I would say it's both in a way because I mean, if we had a lot of money, if I had a lot of money, then I wouldn't look into renting versus buying. But for what we're looking for, we're within our price ranges, and we're within what we can afford. So it's not more so that it's just kind of situational.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's kind of it's just been a little odd this year. Um, you
What do
know,
you what do you mean by odd?
so my girlfriend just graduated from A&M, fall 24. So she was, we were together obviously, and we were talking about what our plan was going to be. Whether, you know, she was wanting to move here because I already had a full time. So it just, I guess on paper it just made the most sense. So it's just been a little, I guess, I mean, it's hard for me to say, but I know it's hard on her. Awkward, bouncing between going back to College Station and living there because her lease, she still has a lease.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where she's like staying with me during the week or even on the weekends, and then going back home to where she's from,
Mm-hmm.
her hometown. So that's also that. It's a little hard, because we're trying to find something, and then she finally accepted a job offer, which is amazing. And now it's just kind of it just, and I'd say I'm down in the dumps just because it's just hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we're just trying to plan for a lot of things. We've made a lot of promises. We've excitedly talked to people about having and owning a place, or just having a place, by July.
Yeah.
But we've just been, having difficulties finding a place. So it just feels upsetting.
So you mentioned talking to people about having a place by July. So is this like a pressure situation for y'all?
I mean, honestly, for me, I don't know how I can speak for my girlfriend, but for me, it's not a problem for me to call someone and tell them, "Hey, man, like I know we said these things, but we're not gonna have a place till this time." It's it's my life, it's our life, like it's not their life. So I personally don't see that. It may be disappointing, yeah, because we have plans for the summer. I live um, in a very well. I live more like in New Braunfels,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of tourism going on. The houses that we're looking for are within that range, so it just, obviously, like when you have friends, like, hey, you should come down. We have the river, Schlierbahn, whatever, um, and just kind of that. But I'd say I feel more pressure, and it's not even really like I do feel the pressure, but I know my girlfriend feels it more, obviously. But she, like I said, she accepted a job offer. Um, she's walked to school. She's been in her classroom. She knows what it looks like. She's already planning it. Um, so I guess more so the pressure of just having stuff for her classroom, being prepared for the summer. Because I know August, I'm not a teacher, but I'm assuming August is going to be busy, kind of preparing for a lot of things,
Yeah.
preparing for the school year. So um, I just feel bad because I feel like there's nothing I can do to relieve some of her stress. And yeah,
Do you do you feel as if like this is causing any like problems that's like
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would say it's causing problems, but I wouldn't say it's personal. Like it's not, you know, like we may be emotionally speaking to each other. I wouldn't say arguing, but like we may, obviously we feel very passionate about it. So when we talk about it, there's gonna be emotions, and so I wouldn't say like we have a problem. You know, there's times where maybe we don't agree on something, but we always talk about it and try to understand each other's perspectives.
Yeah.
You know, to like resolve the issue. So
Of
I
course.
wouldn't.
Find different ways to go around, like to figure out something between you and her, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a lot of it's gonna affect her. She's kind of pressured for her classroom. You know, y'all were doing long distance, and she was somewhere that you weren't. Like she was coming to you and stuff. How do you personally feel about this house? Like just solely you.
Well, I would say I just have been feeling disappointed. You know, like let down. You know, you have your high hopes. You have your hopes for something. And you know when it doesn't work, obviously you get upset. But the reason why I've been saying my girlfriend a lot is because we talk every day. We live, you know, practically together. Um, so obviously, what's gonna affect her is gonna affect me. So it's yeah. I mean, what affects her is gonna affect me. You know, I care about her. I care about what she feels, and I care about what she's worried about because we have the same worries, similar worries. I mean, I'm not gonna worry about I'm like for example like the classroom and having like the teacher classroom and having everything ready for the school year. Like it's not my classroom, so I don't feel personal pressure because I'm like okay, it's not my classroom, but like I still feel pressure.
Yeah.
You know, because it affects her, therefore it affects me. You know, and
So what would you say is kind of like the biggest upset right now for y'all?
honestly, the biggest disappointment, and I think what really bogged us down the most, personally for me, was my credit. I feel like a lot of the issues that we're having now, and the reason why we're being delayed, is because of me. Like, um, you know, and it's one thing to like whenever you know it's your fault, but people tell you like, oh, it's okay, it's not your fault. Like, yeah, I mean, people are gonna tell you that. Like, I know my girlfriend tells me that to make me feel better, and maybe she doesn't hold anything against me because of that, but I feel like I failed in that sense. Like people were relying on me, people were depending on me, and I let them down.
Do you always feel like people depend on you, or do you think this is like a new situation to where you feel, because I feel like you're kind of taking on a lot of the like you said, you feel like it's your fault, you don't want people to tell you like, oh, it's okay, it's not your fault. But do you like, I don't know, do you feel like this is all on you?
Um, sometimes it feels like sometimes I do feel that way, you know, because like I said, like one of the biggest reasons why we just had a lot of trouble signing a lease, basically, is because of my credit score. We have to jump through hoops and we have to get verification from, you know how all that financial stuff is. But it was because of that. Like that is why we did that. Like that is why we don't have a place to live. You know, like that is in my head. Like that is why we're still looking, and we are not having the best time. I guess just like looking for places. Being disappointed, going to tour, being disappointed because in the back of our minds, like that's still there. Like that issue with my credit is still there. So it's yeah. I just
So
yeah.
you
Like,
do feel.
I try not to. I try not to take. And maybe this is I don't know how deep you want to get, but I don't know if this is just like something I do, but like
You know, share.
Like something I tell myself when I feel a lot of pressure is to tell myself that it's not a big deal. So like I try to tell myself that it's not a big deal because in my head, in my everyday life, like it's gonna make me feel more calm. Even though it is a big deal. Like, this is a big deal. We do preferably, it's not 100% absolutely necessary, like we'll be without a home in July or August come, that time. Uh, but I know what we want. I know what I want. I know what my girlfriend wants, and it's to have a place, not to live where we are living now.
Yeah.
To start our life together,
Okay.
which you can say we already have. Like technically, like I started working full time. My girlfriend got in her master's. She's doing her master classes now. She has a job. Like you can say that we started our life, but like it doesn't feel real until we find a place,
Yeah.
which maybe not the best way to think. I guess it depends on perspective, however you want to look at things. But yeah.
So more as if you see it's like it's not a big deal. Things are gonna work out. You feel better.
Yeah, and I tend to do that a lot for other things. I mean,
Oh, that's just like been.
yeah, because I never enjoyed, like I don't like disappointing people. I never liked it. So
Do you feel as if you dis not you may have not disappointed so many people, but do you feel as if you disappointed so many people, so now it's like a I don't want to disappoint anybody, or do you feel like you've never disappointed, so you don't want to do it now?
well, I feel like I've always disappointed, so I don't want to um, keep doing it. Which is why I was saying it might be like some mental defense mechanism, some type of way of coping by me saying like I don't think of it as a big deal, and then I'll do it because I feel like sometimes even at work, even at whatever, if something is a big deal or something is hard to do, in my head I tell myself like, oh, it's not that hard, or no, it's not that serious, to kind of relieve some pressure because honestly I don't really do that well under stress, I guess, as much as I wish I did, but like I need to know mentally within myself that it's okay, it's not a big deal, or it's it's not a hard, it's a problem and there's an easy solution, but yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that you put that much pressure on yourself when you feel as if you're always disappointing people.
No, it's a lot better than what it used to be. I don't think that way, 100% of the time anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that's in my head. It's just something that I'm working on and I've been working on. So it's it is what it is.
Do you feel like the situation you're put in right now, do you feel like maybe there's anything that you can do to not feel it as if you're being a disappointment right now?
Well, I guess in a way I'm doing everything I can. I mean, the credit issue was just that my credit was too low. So I mean, um, I've been making my payments on time, looking at different things, adding more sources of credit, just finding different ways to boost my credit the best way I can, to kind of get past that little hump because that's kind of what's holding us back. So if I can get my credit score up a little higher, so we can have a little bit more buffer, um, that's gonna make me feel better, which in turn makes me feel a little better now because I know that I'm doing what I can to get to where I need to be, and yeah, there's some pressure there because like it's not only on me. It's not like I'm looking for a place, because I know for a fact like if I were looking for a place, like I wouldn't think it's a big deal, but again,
you're bringing in
it's not just me.
Yeah.
It's not just my opinion. It's not just it's two people, two different opinions on everything, and that's okay. That's how it is. But yeah.
Well, I don't believe that, this is all your fault and that your disappointment or anything. But what are maybe is there anything, that gets you out of this little funk? That maybe try running together, doing yoga together, doing something maybe happy. Could that anything that comes to mind that you could do to maybe be happy right now is in the moment till you know the paperwork and the house and the credit figure itself out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, um, I'm with my significant other, my girlfriend, a lot, and we like doing a lot of things. We've been talking about going on walks. We've been talking about getting a gym membership, and the reason why we were holding off on it, which is another thing that is frustrating, that we're holding off on doing a lot of things because we're waiting for a place to live. But going to the gym, could be a possibility. Trying new places. I know there's a lot of places that she's seen that I've seen that I like. We just haven't had the chance to go. Spending time with family and friends, together. Whether
all those are great ways to get your mind off of the house right now. So yeah, maybe try doing all those things to just relieve the stress and the pressure right now. But you're definitely doing great.
Thank
you. And with the situation, I believe you're doing great, and I just wish you the best and to keep your head up.
I appreciate that. Thank you.